Alright, so hey everyone, welcome to Curtin Call. I'm Kevin Curtin. I'm here today with a very special guest. He's a producer, songwriter, and artist, and has worked alongside some of the greatest groups and artists of music history. He's also the pioneer and architect of the New Jack Swing sound, and it's really an honor to be here with him today. So without further ado, I introduce you to the legendary Teddy Riley. Teddy, thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it. So Teddy, can you take me back to a time I heard somewhere, I think it was online, when you were about 5 years old, you were at the Apollo Theater, and Gladys Knight brought you up on stage while she was singing Neither One of Us. So could you take me back to that time and just kind of paint the picture for us of what that meant to you? And
well, it was basically my babysitters. They used to watch us, you know, while my parents were at work. And this was one night, which is Wednesday night.
yeah,
Showtime at the Apollo back in the day. You know, we would go there and there would be a performance from an artist after a film.
sure.
And that's at the Apollo. They always had that film first, and then the screen would go up, and then you'd see the band.
Yeah,
And that was then that day there was Gladys Knight, you know, and I was in love with Gladys Knight, you know, when I was a kid. And, you know, I used to dance on her songs and everything, and she recognized that. And
yeah,
brought me up on the stage.
yeah.
And she sung Neither One of Us to me while holding me in her arms.
Unbelievable. So, you know, growing up, who were some of your early influences, production-wise, and maybe some of the groups that you were listening to at that time?
My early influence Stevie Wonder, all of the legends, Stevie
Sure.
Wonder, Roger Troutman, George Clinton, Michael Jackson, Prince, and many more. You know, I grew up off the music and been so influenced by it.
Sure. So, can you take us back to when you were doing Keith Sweat's debut album, and just what you know, maybe your fondest memory from recording that debut album?
Recording that, you know, we met, you know, in a different setting. We were actually outside shooting some dice.
Yeah.
And as we were shooting dice, Keith came around the block and he came and joined us. And as he joined us, you know, we got the game finished. He took everybody's money.
Yeah.
And then we kind of walked off talking about producing music for his album. And I told him I didn't think I would be the fit, you know, the right fit for him.
Sure.
Because I didn't want to do R&B. But I wound up, you know, trying it anyway and came up with I Want It First.
Yeah. Classic record, and that was actually probably the debut of what we now know as New Jack Swing, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could say.
Right. So '88 comes around, you know, and Guy releases their debut album. What was that transition like for you, going from being in the production room to now being in a group and having to deal with all the, you know, things that a group has to deal with?
Well, sometimes it's stressful. Today,
Yeah.
I try to make it as stressful as you know, as less stress as
Yeah.
possible. So, and if it gets any, you know, if I accumulate stress, then you know, I have to fall back
Right.
and go back to my production.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, obviously Guy eventually splits up, but now we're back and we're doing a tour, and check that tour out, by the way. We got another month left of that tour. But you come to a point where you only have 20 bucks to your name, you get a call to do a Jane Child remix, and that puts money back in your pocket. You get a call to do the Dangerous album for Michael Jackson. What did that responsibility mean to you at that time, getting that call and just dealing with all that at that time?
Well, it was amazing for me, you know, true blessing.
Yeah,
I was very surprised, you know, but you know, when you know Quincy did what he said, you know, he introduced me to Michael and so many other people, and I owe it to him.
yeah. So, you know, I understand it took 4 months to finish the song Remember the Time. What do you remember about the very early stages of, you know, presenting that music to Michael, and just, you know, kind of the background behind that song?
Basically, that song started out the way I started, you know, making the beat at Soundtrack Studios
Yes.
on 21st Street, Broadway. And I think it's 7th Avenue or Broadway, one or the other. But, you know, I did that at in New York first, you know, while working with Guy and so many other people and James Shaw at the same time.
Sure.
You know, it was very inspiring because I like to work on songs and make them different. That's why all my songs sound different.
Yeah. And wasn't there a story where he was intrigued by the first chord, the opening chord of that song, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, interesting. So, you know, just out of curiosity, what was the greatest lesson that Michael taught you, just in general, by being, you know, maybe you being his student while you were, so you always refer to being in school when you were working with him, right? What was the greatest lesson you learned from Michael?
The greatest lesson I learned is to settle for nothing.
Settle for nothing. But great.
Settle for nothing but great.
Nothing but great.
And if it's not great, at least you make the effort.
Yes.
At least you strive for it.
Yeah.
So
So next up, I want to talk a little bit about Blackstreet. You know, definitely one of the greatest groups of all time in the R&B category there. And you know, before I let you go, is I believe a quintessential Blackstreet classic. And I just wanted to know what inspired that song.
well, you know, it's a life experience. You know, it's what I was going through at the time. And used to be times where my fiance at the time. We would just go to bed, without meeting each other's eyes.
Yeah.
And it comes to a point where you have to write about it, right? Because it becomes emotional, and that's what I did. I wrote about it, and it became a hit because it was real.
Yeah, still a timeless song, still a classic song, and I guess that's what timeless songs are all about, just speaking the truth. So next up, I want to talk a little bit about No Diggity, or have you talk a little bit about No Diggity? You know, it's definitely one of the most unique songs that ever came out. You had a classic video by Hype Williams, you had Dr. Dre and Queen Pen on the verses. Do you have a favorite memory recording that song?
Recording that song so that, most people, like certain producers out there, don't believe that I produced that song.
Yes.
Most people don't have the source to know the truth because the source is not here with us. And that's Will Stewart.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you the rundown about it because this person knows who he is, and he's supposed to be a good friend of mine, and when you have a good friend, the good friend is supposed to come to you and ask you what really went on instead of taking one side of the story.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the side of the story that he took was a person who wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? It was just him and I.
Yeah.
And Blackstreet there. And my staff. And Will Stewart was playing with the sample.
Yeah.
As he was playing with the sample, I listened to the sample through the door of my studio.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And when I listened to it, I said, I need that sample right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something with that sample, and I want you to come in and write it. I took the sample, went into my A room, and actually took that record, cut it up in pieces because it wasn't syncing. Cut it up in pieces, and made it a loop. I time stretched when people didn't know how to time stretch manually.
Yeah.
So when I time stretched it, I got it all together. I created the beat on an MPC 16.
Okay.
Actually 3000. On the MP, I had to do something to trick the sound and the drums so everything connect.
Yeah.
The song didn't have a lot of body. So what I did at the end of the mix, because I love the beauty of the song, the texture of the sounds.
Yes.
So what I did was added an ultra bass so that it can have a bottom.
Yes.
After doing all of that, Will Stewart and I sung the melody. The melody I wanted to be sure to get down, good Lord. And then I hummed and put certain words, strictly this you don't play around. And Will would actually fill in. And I have so many witnesses, including Mr. Leon Silvers, who I gave the melody for before I let you go, and he wrote all the lyrics. Same thing with Will Stewart. So I guess this producer didn't want me to have the credit of producing. No Diggity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go even further into the truth. No Diggity was totally done by Will Stewart and myself. I produced it, he wrote it. He gave me the sample, I demolished it.
Yeah.
Okay? So for your information,
Thank you for clearing that up.
Mr. 3-4, I'm clearing this up for you because
Right here on
I
Curtin.
felt like you should have said something to me, but just like most,
Yeah.
guys and cliques do,
Right, sure.
they on that side, but
We
it
know
doesn't
the
matter to me,
truth.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm the label,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is what all of them were inspired to be, but they failed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They failed, I succeeded. With all my labels, I did well.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it out there because people need to know, because he have influences, but I have more. I have a lot more.
Yeah.
And I'm still here, and I am still in my last, let's say 4 or 5 years, I had 9 #1 hits.
God bless you.
And the proof, you can go on YouTube, the groups that I work with, the views are more than, let's say 50 million.
Yeah.
He will never reach that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So
Yeah.
I say that to say this. A person don't know you until they're in the room and they're there, they don't know what's going on. So they shouldn't take another side, especially if we all supposed to be good.
Well, I want to thank you for demolishing that record and making one of the greatest records of all time.
Thank you, man.
You know,
I'm totally grateful, and I always promote Will Stewart
Yes.
because we had a relationship all the way back to the projects where they used to sing in front of my door. I lived on the first floor, and they were going up to a girlfriend's house. You know what I'm saying? So I always promote him, never exclude him.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of producers, when they produce with other people, like this cat,
Yeah.
he don't promote the other producers. There's a lot of producers out there that hide behind their producers.
Yeah. We've seen that many times.
So
Yeah.
I don't hide behind my producers. And if I have a producer on the record, trust me, they're on that record.
Yeah.
I never exclude them.
Yeah.
All of my producers will tell you that.
So, speaking of producers, you're credited to discovering Mr. Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo.
That's right.
What did you see in them at an early age that said, gee, I really want to give these guys a shot?
I see nothing but uniqueness.
Yeah.
These guys are innovative, and they will remain innovative because they came through my camp.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And Pharrell even say this, we don't speak much. There's no bad blood,
Yeah.
but he would definitely say this. He learned something from me,
Yeah.
which made him longevity. Same thing with Rodney Jerkins, more than the producers that talk. They know what I do.
Yeah.
They know the real.
Yeah.
Including Timberland. He's been in my studio.
You've been a mentor
He
to
watched
many
me
people.
work.
Yeah.
I watch him work.
Yeah.
Unique.
Yes.
Timberland's a bad boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a bad boy. Absolutely.
So I give credit where credit is due. And this producer I'm talking about,
Yeah.
he's a bad boy.
Yeah. But he
You know
doesn't
what I'm
give credit.
But you gotta learn how to give credit where credit is due.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know the credit, don't take just anybody's word.
Yeah. So,
The
you've been...
person they took, I'm just saying that.
Oh,
The person
absolutely.
word that
Yeah.
they took wasn't anybody.
Yeah. So you've been in the game so long and you've remained consistent. There's only a few producers I can think of, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and a few others, that have through the years remained very consistent. And what are the secret ingredients to just remaining consistent and continuing to build your sound?
Stand humble and keep your mind open
Mm-hmm.
for the gifts and everything to come in.
Right.
That is why I'm able to sustain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sustain my career, sustain my creativity, and always have creative people that can bring that creative energy
Yeah.
to you,
Right.
and you can feed off of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, quick fun fact: you, Bruno Mars, and I, we all share the same birthday, October 8th. So obviously Bruno dropped your name and a couple other people in his acceptance speech for the Grammys for Album of the Year. Just wanted to get your take on his album, what you thought of it, what your feelings were.
This album is amazing. You know, he's such a unique guy. You know, and I hope we get the chance maybe one day in life,
I hope so
maybe
too.
celebrate our birthday together at least.
That would be great.
If we don't get to work together, you know, I'm good with that because being paid the homage is just as much,
Yeah.
you know, much credibility.
Sure.
You know, and coming from him is special. And for me, Face and Jimmy Jam Terry Lewis,
It's a big honor.
It's a big honor, and I accept that. You know, if I didn't deserve it, I would definitely say I didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I worked really hard, and I'm not gonna let that be taken away from me. No one could ever say, like these producers and people out there, you can't take this away from me. I did Michael Jackson. It's bigger than no Diggity.
Exactly.
So
That's
but
all you need to say, Michael
that's
Jackson.
all I need to say is
All
Michael
you need to
Jackson.
say.
And I can still say Blackstreet because I created it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Some of the biggest records of all time, period. So,
And a lot of my music created this guy. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like everything he did
incredible.
was samples, and
Yes.
they were all some of mine and everybody
Right.
else.
right. So I know you're a big Prince fan. Can you tell me, do you have a favorite Prince record and maybe why? Favorite album and why?
My favorite album. I love all his albums.
Yeah.
You can't exclude
Well,
one
if you
album
had to
from the
pick
other.
one. If you had to pick one.
The time where I felt like if I had to go for the up tempo,
Yeah.
it would be shoot. When Doves Cry,
Yeah.
Purple Rain,
Yeah.
and then the Batman album.
Okay. All great, absolutely. All right, so let me ask you, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received from either a mentor or maybe growing up? Just best piece of advice.
Wow. The best piece is, stay humble. It's always easy to make it to the top, but it's hard to maintain it.
That's a good point.
So I'm just maintaining. I love my life now where I can play the background, come out on the stage, perform, come back and play the background.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact that, God is blessing me and I'm continuously doing what I do. And another thing these guys can't take from me is I'm the only producer that created my own genre. Leave me the hell alone.
God bless.
I appreciate y'all.
Now, what is, in closing here, what's coming up? What can we expect coming up as far as production, as far as touring, as far as who you're working with, or just whatever's going on right now?
I got so much going on.
Yeah.
This year I'm performing at Essence, being honored. I am actually working on a huge deal with Microsoft.
Wow.
And we are close. We're maybe a week or so.
Yeah.
We'll be signing on.
Very nice.
To build their new platform, which is the competition to iTunes called Bingo.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And I'm so happy to be a part. I'm humble. I think basically, my friends from Korea, MK, Kim Mansu, and Augustine Kim, my partners who I truly thank. I'm very, very humble.
Mm-hmm.
But, to be in the presence of, big time guys like this, I feel like I've graduated.
Yeah.
Because this is nothing but sky's the limit.
Right.
I'm dealing with, I call him the new millennial Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Because he's a partner of Microsoft, along with Samsung and LG and all of these companies, Alibaba, coming all together.
Yeah.
So the artists that will come to our platform, you will be able to earn more than the competition, which is iTunes, Spotify.
Yeah.
Their percentage rate is too high.
That's great.
For an artist. Ours is better.
Yeah.
We offer 70%.
Wow.
And there's a lot more to it because You know, just like the Jay-Z album when it came out and Galaxy got behind it.
Right. That was a big
Now
deal.
we have Samsung, we have LG, we
Nice.
have Alibaba.
Yes.
Alibaba have over, I think, 550 million subscribers.
Yeah.
That's our channel. They're partner. We'll be able to get a record
Yeah.
at a peak of sales faster than any platform
Wow.
can
Interesting.
because of our integration with Alibaba. And there's more to it. I'm just giving you a gist of what's going to happen and what you're going to see in the new launch, which will be soon.
Well, I wish you much luck with that. And as far as the music, I'm sure we can expect a lot of new music coming in the future as well.
I'm also working with Babyface
Oh, that's great.
and Jam. We're doing some stuff with Bobby for his biopic.
Nice.
Working with Keith, you know, we have a promotion company together. It's our dream, you know, and he's already there.
Yeah.
I'm starting, you know, jump on it.
Yeah.
It's become like the Mayweather of the music industry, promoting our own tours and everything, or being a part of the new Millennium Al Hamer.
Yeah.
You know, who's promoting this tour here, which is Gary G Square.
Yeah.
And that's our goal, you know. We're always trying to strive and build, you know, different things, and that's unique, you know, because the business is going in a different turn. We have to figure out other ways to build revenue streams.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, and I made it.
So, where can people find you online if they want to follow you on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff?
You can follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
My ID is Teddy Riley, the number 1.
Okay, great.
I don't know how long I'm gonna be on IG.
Okay.
Because that is such a political site and platform. You know, I don't know what it takes to get verified, but
Yeah.
you know, I've been with them for so long, and I'm ready to do away with it because I don't need it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I do it for the fun of seeing my children or seeing, you know, my close friends,
Yeah.
you know, when they post things, and, you know, I follow them and I support,
Yeah.
you know, celebrities, you know, I support. But, you know, it's not something that I take very serious.
What about Twitter or Facebook? Are you on either?
Same
of those?
thing.
Same thing. Okay.
But I think I'm verified on Twitter and I'm verified on
Okay,
Facebook.
cool.
But with Instagram, it's a different beast.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people out there who have much less followers than me,
Yeah.
verified.
Right.
So I think it's something wrong.
It's a little
It's a
political,
political
yeah.
reason why I'm not. Which, you know,
Instagram. Keep an eye on that if you're
Yeah.
watching. Yeah.
it doesn't make me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a made man.
But it should be verified. Come on. At this point, yeah. So, you know, real quick for this show, we're on Twitter and Instagram, Curtin Paul 87. We're on Facebook. Please support the page. I just want to thank Teddy for being on the show again. You know, you've done so much to just music history, and it's just truly an honor. And you know, just want to thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless.